On today's episode of Path Monk Presents, I have a very special guest with me here. Please welcome Rob Bone, who's the Chief Commercial Officer at Plan A Technologies. So for all of you who don't know, Plan A Technologies is an elite software development shop and consultancy. The company was founded by the software entrepreneurs who built and sold several multi-million-dollar companies. They eventually decided to launch their development company that they always yearn for back when they lead in startups. So Rob, it's an honor to have you with us today. I'm excited to learn more about you and about A Technologies.
Right, thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And you said it best at the outset. We are extremely passionate about software development, and our founders, Aaron and Slav, never could really find a company that could fulfill all their needs when they were designing and executing on their technology needs. So we created Plan A Technologies to solve that gap, and it's been a great ride. So thank you, and proud to be here with you today.
Great, awesome. Yeah, the pleasure's on mine. So now that we have an idea of what Plan A Technologies is, so then who are the clients that you serve within this industry mainly?
Sure. Our DNA in terms of development and consultancy and advisory expertise is in the regulated gaming space. That's where many of us started our careers. Now, while we have many and most of our customers are in the casino and gaming, iGaming, sports, online space, we have customers across multiple sectors. Banking, fintech, hospitality, healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, if you name it, we have customers, and Fortune 500 customers all the way down to startups. So, we are extremely passionate about gaming, and that's where a lot of our heritage comes from, but we serve all industries and all sizes of companies happily.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. I love how it's very diverse too, where you cater to, as you were saying, startups to the big companies. So I think that's awesome. So
it's a ton of fun too. Sorry for jumping in. Is everyone has a domain expertise that they serve, and so all of us love to go to the flashy, shiny things or the things that we have grown up working on. But getting exposure to different industries really is the best way that the best ideas and the best approaches come to light. So, not only is it fun, but it really makes us better at what we do, because really the best ideas come to light, and we can share those with our different customers as we engage with them along the way.
No, that's awesome. I'm happy you jumped in too, because that gave me more clarity as well. So thanks for that. So my next question is, what would you say is your top client acquisition channel? Do you guys mainly focus on digital marketing, inbound, SEO content, or is it just a mix of a lot of things?
It really is a mix. Mostly word of mouth and referrals. We're a growing organization with a heavy focus on recruitment and acquisition of the best talent in the world. So we're really starting to grow and expand our sales and marketing channels, our website, social channels. We just started a blog. So we're really starting to take that next phase, that next step in our marketing evolution, but mostly through word of mouth. And, that's the best way to secure new customers, when someone talks about how great you were in executing on their behalf. So we're happy to get it, but at the same time, any and all channels that we can get access to new customers, it's a wonderful thing. I've been at a lot of different companies before, Mariah, where, when you're out selling the product or the service, you feel great about the product, but sometimes you don't have that piece, that conviction about the product or service that you represent. When I talk about Plan A Technologies, I have the utmost faith and confidence in our ability to execute. And it really isn't sales. It's more just conversating and solving problems. And so it's really an honor to be here at the company. And, we're excited about what the future holds.
Wow, that's great. And I love how you were elaborating on, launching the blog. So speaking of the blog, are there any plans on with the websites? Do you guys have any plans on, updating it more, or what would you say are the main strengths of your website currently? Do you have any room for improvements? So tell us a little bit more about the website.
Great question. Always room for improvement. So when you're offering development services, you really have to put yourself into the lens of the buyer or the person who's making that decision. What are they looking for? Overselling typically doesn't work. They're really looking for legitimacy, capability, and thought leadership. So how do you convey that in a website? As we move forward, more video content, more authentic, rich media that we can convey on our site about our people and about our process. Absolutely an area for opportunity. And that's what we're investing in more and more. With the blog, it really was perspectives. I mean, you want to work with people who have, shared but unique and modern perspectives and how we can solve their needs. So I think when it looks at our website, our blog was a great addition and starting to convey different types of approaches. What are the things that work with UI and UX? What's the difference between React and Angular? Different types of coding, different types of platform architecture, and different types of approach processes that helps convey the unique way that Plan A comes to market. I think that's what serves best, but there's always room for improvement. And personally, we'd love to have more rich video. One other quick thing is 90% of our staff is offshore or remote. So it's a little difficult sometimes to get those standard pictures and those images of a lot of the folks that are coming together. We always have as many company events as we can to celebrate our team and to really acknowledge the efforts they put forth. But because they're remote, it's sometimes hard to get them all together. So, that's another thing that we'd like to try and incorporate into the website is, just more pictures about the awesome people that are here at Plan A. So those are some things you'll see coming here in the near term.
That's awesome. I'm really excited, especially too with the blog. I can tell you guys have put a lot of work into it. It's got a lot of really great content that's geared towards your guys' niche market and positioning you as, like we're the experts in this field. We know what we're doing and we're here to help you and to serve you, which is what I really love. And I think that's the most important thing, when creating the blog and being able to articulate that across, that channel.
Well, and it was one thing when we looked at many of our competitors, it's one thing that they all do and do very well. And it really hits at the heart of what a customer, someone who needs development services, again, wants perspective. They want to know their people that they're working with are honest, can deliver on time, on budget, and on quality. But most importantly, that they have unique and modern approaches to solving solutions. And at the end of the day, that, they can solve the problem that's needed. And without question and without fail, Plan A executes every time. So the blog has been a wonderful, wonderful tool to add to the website, and we're going to be investing in it more and more.
Sweet. That's exciting. So now we're going to shift gears here. and we're going to talk about you as a leader. So I'm assuming that, you wear a lot of hats from, what we've discussed so far. So what does a normal day look like for you?
Fast-paced, variable, always changing. And really it's a matter of being prepared at all times. So we're a global company, so all time zone starts very early, ends very late sometimes, but the time passes so fast just because it's always exciting working and talking with all the different customers that have needs that we can fill. But yeah, I mean, when you're a growing company that's experiencing as much growth as we are, I mean, it's all hands on deck. So leadership has no ego. Leadership, really is all about leading by example, which sounds cliche, but it really is the case. But also about motivating and inspiring. I think many of our team members, even though that they are remote, they want to know that the growth of the company and that they're part of an organization that is having a lot of success and that ultimately the customers are happy with our deliverables. And, that is the case. So that's what really we're focused on. Our chairman, Aaron Ezra, and Slav Kulik, our CEO, those are fundamental aspects to their leadership style, and they set that example at the top, no question.
Wow, that's awesome. And I love how, as you were explaining, leading by example, leadership, there's no ego. And when, you're able to lead your team and you're able to, champion them and help them in their role, it trickles down to the rest of the company. So I think the way you summed it up, I agree with you completely on that. Definitely.
Well, it's about service, Mariah. And look, a lot of people talk about this, and you can cite a ton of different people who talk about the best leaders and the aspects of their leadership. But, those who kind of look at, entitlement, and I've achieved this level of status, and so therefore people below me must do my bidding. Never really seen that work. I mean, versus inverting that and saying, I'm accountable to the team that we bring on. I mean, we're asking them to come and put a majority of their day, their time, and their energy into projects on behalf of us. And, that perspective is really important for us. And it's yielded a lot of positive result. I mean, in this post-pandemic world, we've capitalized on bringing the best and brightest engineers to Plan A. But that's not enough. I mean, we have to make it a fun environment, an environment where they have involvement in the projects that they can select, and that they have say in everything that we do. And that is without question bold, italicize, and underline. Those are key aspects of the Plan A promise, and it's working really well.
That's awesome. I'm really glad that you guys have a solid plan that works, like not only for you, but for your team and your company. I think that's one thing a lot of companies struggle with nowadays. So it's so refreshing seeing like, hey, like we've cracked the code. This is what works for us. So that's awesome.
It's exciting. I used to be a customer of Plan A. So seeing it from outside and really seeing that the promises and the commitments came to bear was so impressive. And again, when you're dealing with development capabilities like Plan A, there are 50,000 companies that offer the same thing. We can build that. We can assess that. Yes, we can design that. We can support that API. We can do that front-end development. Everyone can claim it. But in my history of dealing with outside development organizations, Plan A was really the first that, without question, executed in a manner that you just felt like they were an internal aspect of your team. So when Aaron presented me the opportunity to come join, I was thrilled. And it really kind of leads to, if you can think it, we can build it. But that's not enough. It's really the manner in which we do that and how easy we are to deal with. So it's been a great 6 months, and really excited about what the future holds for us.
Great, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. So now we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk about you as a leader, and we're going to finish with these rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Good. Yeah.
Cool. What is the last book that you read?
Ooh, good one. Innovator's Dilemma by Clay Christensen. One of my favorites. One of those books that you read every 3 years, but the perspective of where you're at and where we're at this point, unbelievable book, must read.
All right, cool. I'm going to check it out. It sounds really interesting. Sounds like a really good book. So definitely going to put on my list. So we're coming to the end of our interview now. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to not only meet with us here at Pathmonk Presents, but getting to learn more about you as a leader and hearing more about Plan A Technologies. And I also want to give you the last word. If anyone were to forget about everything that we've talked about today in this interview, what is something that you want them to take away about Plan A Technologies overall?
First off, Mariah, thank you for the opportunity again. We never miss or shy away from an opportunity to talk about Plan A Technologies. I mean, what to miss is the way in which we do what we do. We're 350 developers across the country, 25 different countries. You name the coding language, we can work within it. But our process and the way that we do it, it's worth 15 minutes of your time. Would love to talk to you and see if we can solve solutions together. So please reach out to me or get a hold of me through the website. And I'd love to speak with you guys at any point in how you're accomplishing business.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. We'll love to do that. All right. Thank you so much again. As for all of our Pathmonk listeners out there, to check us out next week on Pathmonk Presents.